All right, we're gonna begin shading the eye. So make sure you have a regular pencil, a 6B shading pencil. You'll need a pencil sharpener and your needed sticky eraser and maybe a regular latex eraser, just to erase some larger things. Preferably a sticky eraser. A kneaded eraser is best for facial features. You're able to, really mold in and kind of take out shapes like eyelids and water lines and things like that. Okay, I do like using these little cap erasers sometimes, but let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to begin using this circle tool. You don't have to use one. This is about the shape of the bottom of a cup. Any circle you want to use is fine. This one is 3 inches. Please don't go super tiny, like really tiny, because the smaller you draw something, the more difficult you're making it for yourself. So, standard size for this should be at least 2 inches or larger for a base circle. Or 2.5. All right, so I'm just drawing it very large because this is what I'm comfortable with, so you guys should probably follow that lead. All right, so this is a 3-inch circle, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line through it, slightly lower than the center. So line goes right through. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as a reference point for my eye. And this is the image that I'm using. So you should have your image right next to you, the one that's provided. We're not drawing from memory. We are drawing from observation. Okay, so this is not, if you've drawn eyes before, or you're just going to glance at the photo and, slap something together real fast. That'll be a little bit obvious because when you follow the steps and do the tutorial, then you come up with the same results, okay? So let's just make sure that's what we're doing. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to examine where this line goes through the corner of the eye and the shape that creates right here. So I'm going to begin with that. And I remember you have to draw light to begin with because we do a lot of guessing where lines go, and then we want to check and make sure that's correct, because if it's not correct, then we have to erase and make our corrections. Okay, so we're beginning by drawing the contour through here. All right, so you can again use, if you would like to, check your circle, you can freehand it, but if you want to check it and make sure that it's correct, that's okay as well. I think circles are great reference for just making sure you've done it properly. If this part's not round, then the rest of it might look a little bit off. Okay, so you can freehand it and then check it with something that's round. There's the bell. Alright, so I have the iris. This is the iris, this is the pupil. And we can't forget about the water line that goes right here. If you look at the image, the water line just touches the base of the iris. I can see just a little bit of width where the lashes are coming out. Okay, so now that we have all of those basic contour lines, I am following the image. I drew a line through the corner, right through the base of the center of the eye, right through the bottom of the iris. So I'm going to go ahead and take off some of these reference lines that oriented us. We don't need them anymore. You do have to put the reflection in the eye. I'm gonna leave that one there and that one right there because we can see the eyeball. So remember, the eye is a sphere, it's round. So we begin with a circle. Alright, so now that I've drawn it out with my regular pencil, I don't really need it anymore unless there's something small I want to do. Please make sure that your Prisma is sharpened so that you can get all your details. You might have to repeatedly sharpen it during this lesson. One thing I am going to use my regular pencil for is the highlight. So if we're looking at the image, the highlight is a window. And notice that the eyelashes are in there upside down. We'll put those in later. It looks like there's something like this off to the side. I wonder what kind of window that is. Okay, so we've marked where our reflections go. The darkest part of the iris is, the darkest part of the eye is the iris, and the lashes go in last, guys. Please, I know it's tempting, don't put them in yet. There's going to be a PDF attachment on this lesson. If you open it up, it shows you what not to do with lashes and really making it look like a cartoon. Oh, what nice interruption. Sorry about that. Okay. I'm really big on having circles perfect. And you don't have to draw with one of these. Just gives me peace of mind that I'm leading you in the right direction. That's still not big enough. Okay. So I will continue with that. All these patterns that are in the eye, you can start off with your pencil, just kind of flicking it towards the direction of the iris. And you can use a blending stump for this. Now, there's a lot of detail going on in here. I just want to see you guys very carefully put in some directional lines here using a sharpened pencil, okay? Now the top of the eye, since it's a sphere, is shaded. It's going to be darker than the bottom. So we can go ahead and add those in and just kind of shade them. Now you can very delicately use your pencil to shade, and you can use the side of the pencil just to get a soft shadow here. So the white of the eye is not going to be the white of the paper, and we might need to use our sticky eraser to back this shadow up a little bit. But please keep in mind that the white of the paper is only for bright highlights. So I'm looking at the image as I'm drawing this. I'm not drawing from imagination. The picture has all the answers. Oops, I went out of my line. I'm going to turn this just slightly so I can get the right angle. If you look at how dark this part of the eye is, now if you're pressing very hard and you're going out of the circle, that can interfere with the nice smooth crisp line you have there. If it's really bothering you, like you're having trouble staying in bounds, like you can just put a little piece of paper there and use that to block so you don't mess up the white part or the shape of the iris. All right, so we've started like a nice little shadow going around there. We're not finished yet. We're going to try and do some more shading around the eye. So looking at this corner where the tear duct is, you can see there's a little highlight that we left off there, some contour that should have been included. All right, if we look right here, the way that shadow carries out right along the waterline, just be real careful carrying that out. So when we're shading, this goes from like a 7 to a 4. So if we're looking at our 10 value shades on the value scale,